The first game of the brand new semester, CUSA heats up in South Florida. The Panthers entering it at 7-10, trying to break the two-game tough one. A couple of road games not going FIU's way against Sam Houston and Louisiana Tech. Asim Jones, the opening salvo. Salachum back, and he goes down quickly and was hacked. So Vianney makes an immediate impact.
This is going to be a very physical game, Corey. I don't think that's the last time we'll see a player on the floor here tonight.
It's 2000s night to honor the dress and the music of the aughts, but we'll be seeing plenty of plays that remind you of an old school Shaq-style move. Abar unable to convert. J-Brew battling, not there. Christian Cook, the opening rebound for New Mexico State. Winners of 6 in a row. Tough to be playing much better than the Aggies are right now.
And Corey, 3 of their 6 wins have been by 30 or more points. They are outscoring opponents 482 to 347 during this streak. That's good for plus 135.
Brewer in transition. Look out, Air J-Brew. That's how you start the new semester.
And that's one way to get this crowd going. This very impressive crowd, as you mentioned in the open, Corey. This is a packed house here at the bank, and you heard them early.
10. Didn't get across the timeline in time. The Panther press, unique amongst Conference USA teams, and early impact.
Jason Hooten was very complimentary of this FIU defense, and we see it on one end. Jaden Brewer picks the pocket, 2 hands, and then creating a 10-second violation. Good early momentum-changing plays for FIU.
The start going to be so important to try and slow the roll of the Aggies. Early O-boards belonging to Abar and the Panthers. Brewer, 3-ball at the death. Not a bad look considering. Filipovic, whose increased run of play has been a big part of this winning streak, particularly in conference games. He's got 15+ points on over 50% in each of them. He's been huge to start CUSA play.
Yeah, 15 points, and 20 points in his last 3 games. He has a wide skill set, can handle the ball, can play behind the basket, can shoot the ball a little bit, probably wants those 3-point numbers to go up.
If you can feed him looks like that, why change it?
Yeah, just got lost in screens there. No communication from FIU, and Filipovic just sitting there as a screener for a wide open layup.
The answer from the corner for John Abar.
And this is a start we sort of saw, Corey, the last time we did a game against Western Kentucky. FIU got out to that big start. They've been a slow starting team, particularly on the road this season. We saw it this week. I like the way they've come out with some urgency.
Filipovic on the ball fake. Altered the shot, did Salachum. Brewer out and running again. Maybe went too fast.
Yeah, Salachum won't get credit for anything in the box score there, but you were over it, Corey. Altered that shot and made a huge difference on that attempted layup.
Bostic just creates a ton of space, runs right through all the white jerseys.
Yeah, just tap danced through his way through the lane.
Over 1,000 points in the career of Deontay Bostic. It's had him in the starting lineup basically since December. And that's kind of the trend line across this New Mexico State group. Guys playing their best basketball coming into these last few. It's why they go into the Battle of I-10, New Mexico State against UTEP in El Paso, and get their best win in the Sun City in about 100 years. That is a heated rivalry, and so to win it 85-57, that's one that Aggies fans are going to have for a long time.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. They dominated from the jump, Corey, and their ability to spread you out, switch you, and attack you from 1 to 5. They're an incredibly difficult matchup defensively, so it's going to be a powerful test for FIU here tonight.
Panthers looking to utilize their depth with Travis Gray into the game for the first time. Gray steps through, left it short, followed his own miss, and it goes the other way.
I gotta like the way FIU is attacking the glass. Right there for Travis Gray. I know he wants to put that up. But instead, grab it with 2 hands, see if you can play off 2 feet. Early on, 4 offensive rebounds for the Panthers. Big reason why they're up here early on, 5-4.
That's a point of pride for FIU and one of the major emphasis in the offseason for Jeremy Ballard. Pickens battling Gray, working the baseline. Great ball movement. Cook, left elbow. And now it's the O-boards for the Aggies and Rob Carpenter.
And Rob Carpenter can start on majority of teams in this league. Right there showed his brute strength. He comes off the bench for this Aggies team, and he provides a big, big punch offensively.
Has found his home, and that's the value of consistency as Bostic celebrates the turnover. Carpenter had been to 3 schools in 3 years prior to New Mexico State. Had a couple of high schools as well. So you're functionally talking about 5 different basketball systems in 5 years. Now this is his first year as a returner. You're seeing the payoff.
Yep. 9.7 points per game last year, up to 11.9 this year.
It's got him as a top 20 scorer in this league. No one has done better offensively against league competition than these Aggies. That's why they're 3-0. Williamson looking around. The freshman couldn't find it. Carpenter out in front by himself. Whoa! He's fouled. Travis Gray may have just saved a SportsCenter top 10 play. We'll see the free throws on the other side. Both teams out and running. Athletes galore on 2000s. It has been center by committee for FIU in his absence, but the last time we saw him in a full game, Stephen, it was right here, and he had a career-high 21 points.
Yeah, and he left that game against Western Kentucky the game after. I know you're referencing the 21, but yeah, they've missed his, like Haley said, warrior spirit and just his overall energy, but he was really improving offensively, putting up 20 points in a couple of games, so it's good to have him back on the floor for FIU.
Carpenter hit them both, by the way, as Salachum goes to work right away, and that shot was knocked away. Robert Carpenter doing it on both ends of the floor right now.
Yeah, got the high-low opportunity. Salachum just a tad off balance. That altered the shot.
Him and Filipovic on the floor together is what Jason Hooten said is their best plus-minus lineup. Doesn't matter who they're playing. They did it against the University of Texas, that's competed for national championships. That's on the floor right now as Williamson battles Carpenter, and the foul comes on the other end. So both teams committing fouls to stop the play in transition.
A couple of times now for Ashton Williamson. He's almost trying to move before he dribbles the ball. He turned it over a couple of possessions ago, but we'll take a look at this sequence. Travis Gray gets his hand in there, but Ashton Williamson, I know he's trying to make a play. I know he wants to get to the cup, but want to see him just take a deep breath there.
The freshman getting more experience in that role. Top 10 in Conference USA in steals. Brewer on the cut, deflected, and FIU gives it back.
Right idea, just way too much cluster down in the paint.
The 60-year head man, Jeremy Ballard, as we talk about his freshman being one of the best steals guys in Conference USA. That's been a point of pride. JB's teams consistently the pilferers atop CUSA.
New Mexico State's offense looking for that switch. They want to attack the bigs, and FIU has a pretty small lineup out there on the floor, so rebounding is a premium.
Zadie Jackson coming off an 18-point game in which he did not miss a shot. Becomes very easy to see how. That jumper looks smooth right now. Abar hacked. That's on Jaden Harris. It starts to sound like a broken record. And as you talk with Jason Hooten, he would be the first one to tell you, this team has found its continuity, its confidence in this last month. The second-year head coach seeing the payoff.
Yeah, we asked him a couple days ago, hey, do you have any surprises about any players, pleasant surprises? No, I kind of knew everyone was pretty good on this team.
Yeah. It's just a matter of watching them gel. Guys hitting their stride. Jackson's a great example. You don't often go 7 of 7 for nearly 20 points. Both teams playing in transition a ton. Filipovic couldn't bring it in. Back and forth we go.
You see what FIU is trying to do. Let's take a look real quick, though, at this other possession for New Mexico State. Getting into the paint, kicking out to Jackson, who knocks down a three. Not known for being a scorer on the season, but has shown the ability to with 18 and 12 points in his last two.
Yeah, it's come on for him lately.
The assist leader, though, for this team.
Double figures in 8 of 9. Carpenter again. You talk about being in the right place at the right time. 21 is everywhere right now.
Yeah, he's making his impact felt. Not just an offensive guy. He's a big man out there.
This was the part of the year last year. He had to do a lot of growing. Once you get to Conference USA play, it's a completely different animal. Just because of the nature of this league, the travel, the athleticism. But now he's got a year of experience in it. It's cashing for him. Good hand by Jaden Grant. Scrubbed for it right along the baseline. And a jump ball.
What an outstanding possession right there defensively for FIU. Filipovic got the matchup he wanted on Jaden Grant, the smaller guard, but Cole Williams did a tremendous job just digging. Watch how Cole Williams is always there. And Jaden Grant, give him credit, he stood in the fight and did not back down.
A lot of physicality even on the entry. That right there might just kind of be the summation of how this game is going to go. The whistle's on Cole Williams.
I think they got Cole for a hold underneath the basket.
Along the baseline, that's a sick reverse from Jackson.
And that's why you always say you got to beat your man to the baseline there. But Jackson, quick, agile, able to use that leverage to get by and laid up with the right hand.
Double figures in 8 of his last 9. He seems a shoo-in to keep that streak going. The scoring has been unreal for Zadie Jackson. Run in, Jaden Grant hacked. And this is on Christian Cook.
How is FIU going to score in the half court? That's the question as we take a look at Jackson just beating A-Bar to that baseline and able to lay it up with that right hand. But for FIU's offense, early on we saw this was a 5-4 game. They have not scored here in the last 5 minutes and 42 seconds. New Mexico State is not going to let them push in transition. You saw the early turnovers. They're meeting them at half court after misses or after turnovers.
Emmanuel Chimanga back in the game, the true 7-footer. Him and Salachum now come up top. Vianney got a little room. It's A-Bar. Unable to convert.
And that's a good look for A-Bar right there. Sim Jones took the pick and roll. You saw A-Bar, I'm sorry, move to that top of the key.
Jackson solo beats the press. With Filipovic not on the floor, Jackson asked to do a little more scoring. So far, so good in that regard. Jackson testing the range. The rare miss.
Excellent box out by Jaden Grant, who got switched a couple of times. He had to do the dirty work underneath.
For a guy who's shooting 80% the last couple of games, that might be one of only a couple misses for the rest of the day. Salachum, nice.
That's got to be true for FIU tonight. If they want a chance to win here against the Aggies, good pocket pass and a jumper from Salachum.
Was nearly 10 unanswered there for the Aggies. Salachum the stopper. This
is this action, this dribble handoff into a pick and roll. where the defense is constantly moving.
Bostic over Jones.
And that's just beautiful half-court offense from Jayton Hooten's squad right there. A couple dribble handoffs into a high screen and roll, and the defense is just constantly moving, Corey. You can't stand still for a second.
Bostic's averaging 8 a game. He's got 5 halfway through the first half. A sim. Just short. Jackson leaked out. That's a great job by Asim Jones.
Looked like a D-back on Sunday there.
No doubt.
Able to feel that pass, Corey, and then just stick out that paw to deflect.
A testament to the athleticism of the modern point guard. Both of the starting points in this game score a ton, can move a ton. It leads to a fun pace. Right now, the Aggies and the Panthers going back and forth. The 3-ball starting to work.
And it's interesting, whenever he's on the floor, his mentality is always to help the team. Coach Hooten told us that after every game, he always asks what more he can do. And Coach Hooten says there's not a whole lot more he can do. He's such an impactful player. We've already seen him today. He's got 4 points currently out on the bench. But either way, look for him to be a guy to come in as the 6th man and be a spark for the Aggies.
Invaluable role, especially in modern college basketball, to have somebody not only unselfish enough, but talented enough to be that elite option off the bench. That's a game changer.
Yeah, that example that Haley's talking about is when he scored 17 and 10 and went up to coach and said, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't play that well, but I'll do better next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's coming off a 17-point outing. He went 8 of 12 in that game, one of his best of the season. And so far, it's been his defense that's been a huge difference maker as Solitrum gets to the free throw line for the first time today.
Yeah, and Carpenter gives them a different look than Filipovic does.
Yeah.
For New Mexico State, who's more of a finesse player, and Carpenter is able to really give that presence in the paint defensively, but also the ability to kind of bruise down there on both sides.
A perfect day from the free throw line for both teams to start. 2 of 2. Filipovic right back on the floor. Got a few minutes of rest.
And if FIU wants to get back in this game, it starts here, and it starts by turning New Mexico State over and getting out in transition. They have struggled in the half court offensively, but the Aggies are they just kind of tear you up.
A great contest by Solitrum leads to the shot clock violation.
Yeah, one of the better defensive possessions all night long there, forcing the Aggies into a late, that was a desperate 3.
So Williamson will inbound. Ags still 50% from downtown in the early going, 2 of 4. Plenty efficient. On the cut, just left it behind Gray. The return of Filipovic also means the return of Christian Cook. Have to be aware of both. Jaden Harris, kaboom! Right after a miss, into a make.
And a 3-point ball just plays such a difference in this game. New Mexico State now 3 for 5 from beyond the arc. And all of them are a threat to shoot, Car. I mean, they really do such an incredible job spraying the ball around and not really letting the ball get sticky at all.
Ordinarily, if you have that many shooters at the expense of your play on the inside, not the case at all for these guys. In fact, for Cook, who's up top right now, it's the opposite. He's always been a really good shooter, but it's his interior game that's come a long way, and now it is Peter Filipovic showcasing that work inside the arc. Under 8 we go. The Aggies pulling away. The Panthers do not have a make in over 3.5 minutes. This right here is why the best team in Conference USA right now is out of Las Cruces.
They've responded. They've thrown their punch. Now it's time for the Panthers to try to respond here.
And they have not been slowed one bit by being on the road, which is a real challenge in Conference USA and is a testament to just how good this Aggies group is.
So a little full court press there from New Mexico State.
Giving FIU a little taste of their own medicine. Hoping to press the advantage. Gittens slashing inside.
And that's the guy we talked about in the open, Deshaun Gittens, 10 points and 0 points on that road trip right there. We talk about the tempo. He's got to play under control. Right there, he did so.
The 3 best games of Day-Day Gittens' career in Conference USA have all come against the westernmost teams, UTEP and New Mexico State. Gittens had 17 here last year against the Aggies. Looking for a repeat performance. They almost got Filipovic in no man's land. Instead, Cook, Vianney's rebound.
Good job by FIU. Shouldn't go for that shot fake. I know it's hard with Cook, but good sellout right there from FIU to get a stop.
Brewer, easy.
And what have we seen the last 2 possessions? You got to get paint touches. I know that they want to get threes, and if it's open, you take them, but they have to live in the paint, and they have to create driving lines like they've done the last 2 possessions.
You will rarely see a ball fake completely freeze a defense like it did there. Says a lot about how fast Brewer can get going. He's going to show it now. Brewer accelerating baseline, back to back for Jay Brew.
Stop.
Best run of play for FIU in the game, and it comes right before halftime. Miscommunication. Harris was going one way, the ball the other.
And if you're the Panthers, you got to just take advantage of this. You know New Mexico State can score with the best of them. Take advantage of the blunders, run good offense, and keep getting downhill and creating these driving lines, Corey.
All of a sudden, it's a scoreless 2 minutes for the Aggies. Salachum fighting, he's the one with the ball. Stuff in the stat sheet.
He just wanted another rebound, that's it.
Yep. Missed a couple games, has some numbers to catch up on. Vianney Salachum. 6 points, opening chapter. Harris, tough shot, wow.
Yeah, that's just a tough shot from Harris. That's just, I'm better than you. And that was another solid possession defensively for FIU. They got late in the clock, but just great individual offense right there from the Aggies.
Harris nearly at his season average in just the first half. The very first signee for Coach Hooten having a great game. So is Jaden Brewer.
Just another example of what Jaden Brewer looks like when he's committed to living in the paint. Don't get mistaken by that skinny frame. He can jump over you and he can finish over you.
Last time these two met up in Las Cruces, Jay Brew had 16 points on 7 of 12. He's keeping the good going. Baseline, Jimmy pure for Cook.
Excellent move from Cook there, got to his right hand, and he beat Salachum, which allowed him to get him off balance and get over that shot, because we know Salachum's 6'11".
Asim Jones lost it, got it back. It winds up with Williams in the corner. Sky rebound for Gittens. Simi got it.
Gutty effort from Gittens. Offensive rebound, kicks out. And Asim Jones now has a 3 in 7 straight games.
Off of 13 points on 50%. And that three-point percentage continues to rise. 7 of 10 with a 3.
He's been arguably FIU's best player.
Yep. Brewer by himself, take flight.
I need a poster of that.
Woo. His second emphatic dunk of the game. It's a 1-point contest. The Panthers trailed by 12 about 5 minutes ago. Inside, Solichu makes a difference. Filipovic, big time putback.
Yeah, Filipovic. I know I'd mentioned that Carpenter gives him a different look and maybe exemplifies that bruiser, but Filipovic must have heard me there. Good offensive rebound and able to lay it up and in for 2. Much needed bucket for the Aggies.
Didn't feel like there would be too many needed buckets from the Aggies about 10 minutes ago. A resounding response from FIU on their home floor. Brewer, what a cut. Wow, absolutely on fire.
He's taking over this game right now.
Harris to answer against Brewer, he shoots twice.
What a stretch here we are seeing from Jaden Brewer. He's up to 12 points, 6 of 8.
Basically meeting his season average in a few minutes. He has been a great leaper since he came to Miami. Hella.
I know a lot of people are so excited for you to be here. Your track record speaks for itself. But what can fans expect out of Panther football this upcoming season?
Well, I mean, they can expect excellence. And our university is excellent, a top 50 national institution. And our job is to bring the level of play on the football field up to match the academic prowess of this great place.
Give us something that maybe Panther Nation doesn't know about you, maybe a fun fact. I know you're originally from Florida, a little bit north of here, but what should fans know?
I got 6 kids, so a large family. But I'm just a country boy from North Florida. Football is my passion, just developing young men. And again, just a humble guy that's blessed to be here and ready to, like I said, turn up. All
right, so you're a humble guy, but obviously this is the campus of Pitbull. So I'm going to need you to give me a dale as we get back to the game here. So give me a dale.
Dale.
Hey, there it has it, the new head coach of FIU football, Coach Willie Simmons. Pause up, guys.
That's a professional right there on both the sending and receiving ends. Panther fans unbelievably excited, not only for Coach Simmons, but guys like Coach Ponce, returners like Javon DeWitt, all here tossing T-shirts, by the way, out to the students. So the spring game a couple months away, and a good energy, as is to be expected. Guys on this New Mexico State team know it, but football is the sport in South Florida.
That dale will get better with time.
It's all about reps. Abar from 3, just to beat off.
Well, what a tale of, I guess, 10-minute of halves. My goodness, FIU, I thought, was in big trouble. New Mexico State, I felt, had him on the ropes. And the Panthers have just responded, and it has started defensively. And then in transition like this.
This is where it's come. Brewer! Oh, he almost skied over everybody. That's headed the other way. Jaden Grant thought they were keeping it.
I mean, Jaden Brewer is taking over this game. I know he missed the layup.
So right before we went to break, this was the play that led to the foul. And the whistle comes, and you don't necessarily see it hit the shot clock, but it reset anyway. So did that catch rim? You can be the judge. Shot clock reset, the ensuing foul led to the free throws. That was the brief look, and I think they took a peek over at the monitor, elected to keep it where it is. The play was also allowed to continue, so that's an element of it as well. And so we currently sit at 28-26.
Yeah, tough break there for the Panthers. But they're in it. What a first half.
Relatively low scoring, but that's to be expected. The defensive caliber of both of these two teams. The Ags shooting 50%, so you take that every time. They just have 9 less shots than FIU.
Right, and that's the big one, right, Corey? I'm glad you pointed that out. That tells the story that turnovers, 10-second violations, you know, those possessions matter.
Shot clock is off. NMSU will hold for the final shot. A game they have led essentially throughout this first half, other than the opening minute and a half or so. Filipovic ran out of room. It's Jackson at the horn, sailed it over, and the FIU Panthers, the one who close out half one strong. A three-quarter court shot that will not count. But that's one where you go back later, you strip out the audio, and you put it on your highlight reel. Absolute money right there. But
Aggies to take contested shots and control the tempo. He said they'll be in good shape. One final note from Coach Ballard. He said it is so good to have his star player back on the floor in Salachuam. He's a warrior. He makes a huge difference. And you saw from that opening tip, Corey, just how impactful he's been in this game.
yeah, I mean, he gets the offensive rebound right away, and it's the O boards that have FIU up. Cannot overstate the importance of Vianney Salachuam to this FIU group.
And then it's the other stuff he does defensively early on in this game, not getting any credit for a block, but altering shots and just being big in the paint.
Jay Brew couldn't quite elevate that one, and Filipovic the rebound.
So that was a really great report from Haley, and what it told me was look for earlier quality shots in the shot clock with New Mexico State. They don't want to get to 5 seconds and scramble. They want to get good quality shots early.
Their execution off ball, phenomenal in that middle segment. Bostic curl sets up Filipovic. Patience rewarded with 2 free throws.
And there it was. What a beautiful half-court set there. A couple of different screens, but Bostic catches off a pin down. And the big force to step up here. And Filipovic just was sitting down low. Beautiful pump fake. And he's at the line for 2.
He hits his first. Peter's last name, ending P-O-V-I-T-Y, but pronounced Filipovic, looks nothing like it said. The reason for that, a mistranslated acute C. That's the C with what basically looks like a comma over the top of it. From Croatian to Hungarian. His dad Croatian, but he was born in Hungary. So the wrong couple letters go on the birth certificate, but he likes the sound of that C, so he keeps the proper pronunciation from his dad. And so O-V-I-T-Y sounded out. Ch. Right now, New Mexico State playing Aggie basketball.
It's a broken record, but these live ball turnovers are going to kill you. And the Aggies take advantage there of an FIU one.
Gittins, back iron, long board belongs to Abar. Brewer will test the range. And not a third chance. Emmanuel Chimanga makes his presence felt.
Yeah, 2 decent looks from beyond the arc. We know it's not the strong suit for FIU. They've taken now 10 here tonight.
And it's even tougher against this group. Nobody does a better job of limiting their opponent's field goal percentage than New Mexico State. Salachuam got a piece, but Filipovic comes right back on it. And eventually Vianney ends the run.
You could tell early on both teams trying to feel each other out. And I think if you're Coach Ballard, if you don't score here and you do give up a bucket, you want to probably take an early one. You can't let this game or this lead get larger than 8 or 9. It's just too big of a gap in this type of game.
Emmanuel Chimanga picks up the foul. I think he was going to head off the floor anyway, but he'll actually stay on. Filipovic will head off, relieved by Bob Carpenter.
Interesting decision here from Coach Ballard. Jaden Grant in, Ashton Williamson in. 2 smaller guards.
Got Chimanga up in the air. Back-to-back fouls committed, and a big smile on the face of Vianney Salachum.
It's funny, a smile like that puts to rest any sort of possible intention of a flagrant foul. Every time someone hugs someone when they're going up for a layup, I think the first inclination is to think, oh, intentional flagrant.
Right. So it's Chimanga for Chimanga. Emmanuel out, Nate in. Williamson's three. The clear belongs to Carpenter. It was right after Emmanuel committed to New Mexico State. The call comes in. Hey, Nate wants to join him. A couple years at Troy, plays about 50 games, comes out of Utah Valley when NMSU tried to get him the first time. That's that contested three that Jeremy Ballard was looking for.
Yeah, great rotations from FIU there, and Salachum just using that length to disrupt that shot.
Right back into Vianney, and Nate Chimanga can't believe it. Salachum a foul magnet the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, he looked over to his bench trying to pump them up. That's what we're talking about with him and the energy. Any little thing he takes and turns it into a positive.
Yep. Always ready to get fired up in the play, whether it's unconventional or design. If it goes FIU's way, Vianney's going to celebrate it. Abar had the right line, but it comes to Jackson. Bostic lost it. First to the floor is Grant. Back and forth, turning it over. Bostic winds up with it. Chaos ball continues, and a foul will eventually end it. Boy, no shortage of physical play. Winds up on Jaden Grant, does the whistle.
This looked like an old game of war.
Yeah.
One of the drills you do during practice where you say, put on the pads, put on the helmet, first to 5 rebounds, go get it. I think offensively for FIU, Corey, too many threes early on in this half.
Sure.
5 straight threes on possessions for the Panthers. Now 2 for 12 on the night.
And Bostic gets the kind roll. Both teams will make a ton of subs. And to your point, Brewer right atop the arc. Abar will come out. He's the one who had a couple of those three-point attempts. FIU will try and work their way to the rack a little bit more. Deontay's second. Clanks off back iron. And that's a foul you probably don't want if you're Deontay Bostic.
Yeah, good job by Williamson getting that rebound and just cuffing it. Not allowing Bostic to tie him up or anything like that. Possession arrow is FIU, but
I will maintain that that wasn't a common look in the 2000s you just saw from Rory, but there were people who sported it. It's the official coming of old age. When you're sitting there listening to the pregame playlist, you go, man, these are great songs. You realize because they're all from the 2000s when you were growing up.
we're not that old yet.
Hey, you've got time. When they're doing 2010s night is when you can feel a similar level of pain.
I'm not working that night.
Just
Students, they're great basketball players. They both play the same position, but they don't ever really compete at practice. They both have a ton of respect for each other's game, and they really push each other on and off the court, guys.
Yeah, it can't be any big surprise that they're able to interact well with each other. How about this, Stephen? There are 6 Chimanga siblings. All of them play Division I hoops. 6 for 6. Wow.
That's heck of a genes, man.
Tell you what. Hard work combined with the right setup. And they're all doing it at the highest level in collegiate hoops. Bostic hit the accelerator. Wide open look for Carpenter. Aggies weren't really missing those in the first half. Panthers catch a break. Almost. And Nate Chimanga getting a little extra run here because of the foul trouble in Emmanuel, the 2 quick ones against Solachum. Nate had only played 14 total Conference USA minutes in the 3 games so far. He'll step aside now.
And you mentioned Solachum. He's off to the bench now. A smaller lineup for FIU. Rebounding is going to be vital.
Carpenter's clear, sets the Aggies on the front foot. Filipovic right back in the game. Povic the runner, not quite.
FIU individually, we talked about New Mexico State's lethal offense, by the way. I mean, they have obviously been hot 6 in a row, but they attack individual matchups. The way that the Panthers have guarded individually, I've been so impressed with. Just staying in a stance, staying disciplined, really making these impressive scores.
Jaden Grant goes the distance.
Make it really hard on them.
Couple of points on the day for Jaden Grant. It's a balanced scoring effort that comes with chemistry and continuity. In Coach Hooten's first year, last year, Aggies didn't return a single point, rebound, or assist.
It's insane.
You just do not see it. So he retools the roster this year, over 2,000 returning points. It took a minute, but now they're showing it. Winners 7 of their last 8. Brewer battling Carpenter. The advantage belongs to Rob.
And Brewer thought he got fouled there, getting banged around underneath.
Filipovic manages to hold on to the long dribble, and 2 for the road.
That's that skill set we talk about. Almost lost possession of that ball, stayed with it though. Such a creative player he is.
His offensive creation, very much the spark plug for NMSU. Brewer drew 2. I wonder if we see a little more of that. Sending an extra body at Brewer. Foul before. A couple free throws, contact to the head. And so Jaden Brewer always going to be in the mix, and that will draw bodies to you. Brewer wasn't happy with that second collision right there.
Yeah, he felt like Filipovic came over here over the top and got too much body. But when you're with Filipovic and Carpenter, I mean, those are big dudes underneath, and Jaden Brewer has a skinny frame, not to take away from anything. But I think a lot of times you're not going to get that call.
6'7" and 6'7" for Carpenter and Filipovic.
Quiet night offensively for Sim Jones. That's just his 4th point. He's scored in double digits in 7 of his last 8 games. We've complimented him a ton, particularly offensively.
Says a lot about how FIU has handled it, that despite a relatively quiet day from Jones, they're still within 5, now 7.
And Filipovic put Vianney Solachum in a blender there, spun off him and able to use that left hand. That was a gorgeous move.
Jones, what a pass, but the ball doesn't cooperate. Filipovic wanted it right back. Instead, working the baseline, wing 3, too strong.
Good offense, though, by New Mexico State. When they are in attack mode and they beat their primary defender, it feels like they can get an open shot whenever they want.
Jones heard us talking. Slow start gone, and one, Asim Jones.
Yeah, this was tremendous and a big-time move from Asim Jones. FIU needs any offense they can get, and they get it from Asim, who gets to his left hand, navigates through traffic, plus the foul.
The opposing numbers check out. NMSU limiting their last two opponents to 57 and 48 respectively. Gino Pridgett checking into this game for the first time for FIU.
Yeah, he's a guy that can knock down an occasional three. Pesky pit bull defender.
FIU will dig for an extra bit of offense. Vianney Solichum has been providing rebounding all night. Asim Jones accelerated the process.
And FIU's 10th turnover of the night.
4 of which come in this half. And we still have over half of it to go. So roughly on that same pace. Chimonga right back in the game. He sets the screen. Shot clock winding down. Jackson threw it in and threw it away.
And that's exactly what Jason Hooten talked to our very own Haley about. He did not want his team getting the late shot clock situations. There you saw it again. And that caused the turnover.
Panthers routinely putting together 30 seconds of defense. Asim Jones is pleading for the basketball and never got it. Instead, it's a Solichum baseline jumper and a Filipovic rebound.
Yeah, the Aggies did a nice job keeping the ball on the left side of the floor. Didn't allow that reversal. I know Asim Jones was waiting for a pass, but the Aggies made it tough.
The body of Solichum, the difference. Now Asim gets a chance. Hits the gas, looks for the foul, doesn't come, ball remains here. Jaden Brewer back into the game for FIU. Asim Jones all good. When he gets going downhill, man, it's a different gear.
Yeah, it really is. I think he's asking to come out. He may have tweaked something. Looked like he's walking off on his own power, but yeah, just points like you said, Corey. They're at a premium right now. And I'm sure a 4-point lead for New Mexico feels like it's tied, and for FIU 4 points, or 5 points rather, feels like it's 15. It's just the way that the game is trending, where both teams have just struggled to find a rhythm for a couple of possessions in a row. It's choppy basketball right now.
It is.
So at this point, you're kind of waiting for either Cook or Filipovic for New Mexico State to have their couple of possessions. And the other end for FIU, it's got to be someone in Jaden Brewer or Deshaun Gittins.
And won't help the situation as that sails away. FIU now missing their point guard in Jones and the starting 4/5 as well in Dante Wilcox. So here's a look, just going full speed, the big collision, and goes all the way into the ocean.
Yeah, tried to step over Jackson and then hung up in the air. Bostic came from behind, just kind of an awkward landing.
The Panthers without 2 regulars on the night that Vianney Solichum returns to the lineup. Deshaun Gittins shrugs off the pressure.
And this needs to be his time, Corey. We've seen him do this. We've seen him be quiet all game long and then get into his zone. That needs to be the start. I love that call from Coach Ballard to get him in the post. He's a bigger guard. He's able to do that.
Yeah. Double digits in 3 of 4. He's playing the best offensive ball of his career. Bostic, everything but the bottom. And from behind, Abar got it, and it's FIU possession.
Wow, just a gutty defensive effort from Abar. Not an easy guy to block in Carpenter. I know Jason Hooten isn't happy right now as we take another look. Carpenter inhales this rebound. Beautiful timing by Abar. Looked like he just blocked it off the fingertips of Carpenter. FIU ball.
It was up to John to fill in while Vianney was out. Did a great job, according to Jeremy Ballard. And that momentum is carried over. He calls for it, and just to keep it in bounds. Old school post-up game for the new school big in Abar, and he was fouled.
But we see Coach Ballard right there go into a post-up for Deshaun Gittins. He gets the switch, and Abar was underneath with the mismatch.
John Abar going to the line for the first time today. Panthers have only taken 5 total. In a game where you need all the points you can get, that'll aid the cause. One of the reasons why FIU limiting Christian Cook. Haley has more on the baseline. Haley?
Guys, it's interesting because coming into this game, Christopher Cook was averaging nearly 19 points over the last few games or so. It all came from when he dropped 27 in that big game against New Mexico. Looking at the stat sheet tonight, guys, not quite lighting it up. He's got just 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting and 4 turnovers. I had a chance to go hang out behind the bench during that last timeout with the New Mexico State Aggies. And Coach Jason Hooten kept emphasizing we have to do better. We have to get a stop. We have to clean it up.
He was the Conference USA Player of the Week in the very first week of action. And a tremendous score. He's only been limited to under 10 3 times all year. Panthers have him at 2 right now.
And the last one came on November 30th, just to show you how long it's been.
Solichum can't believe the call on the other end.
These are always tough for the referee. This is why I sympathize with these guys, because Vianney Solichum is 7 foot. He's playing the verticality role. And Jackson, a smaller guard, is going to get downhill. He's going to go up for this layup, and he's going to fall hard. We heard that thump from, you could probably hear it from Little Havana. Referees have to make a decision. Am I going to reward a guy who probably got fouled for him?
Right.
Or am I going to reward the 7-footer Solichum, who really just put his hands up? You know,
Sure.
It's a tough, tough position to be in.
Yeah. It almost doesn't matter what the sport is. It's tougher to play defense than ever. It's true in football. It's true in basketball. And now Solichum on the other end of the equation.
Yeah, and that's just a foolish foul from Carpenter, 90 feet away from the basket. FIU has struck gold late because they are now in the bonus. And any foul from New Mexico State, FIU will be walking to that free throw line. And for a team that doesn't do or isn't an efficient half-court offensive team that doesn't shoot the ball particularly well from downtown, this is Coach Ballard's dream right here.
Carpenter's hoping it's a miss on the front end and no harm comes from it. He'll get exactly what he wanted.
And uncharacteristic for a guy in Solichum that has shot the ball exceptionally well from the free throw line.
2 of 2 today, about 75% on the year coming in. Though the silver lining for FIU, that is Carpenter's 4th. Emmanuel Chimanga has 4 as well. So the 2 primary bigs, both in serious foul trouble for NMSU. Cook can't quite get right.
He has just not been able to find his rhythm.
Gittins. And it's finished by Williamson.
It's FIU's best offense sometimes, Corey, where they just put a shot up and have all 3-4 guys crash the glass. Nice job by Williamson following it up.
No makes from the field for the Ags in over 5 minutes. This thing might be first to 50. Chimanga, nice catch, and the finish. What a time for an and one.
Point guard. He can pass, run the offense, catch and shoot threes. You name it, he can do it. He needs to be more consistent, guys, but it's good news that he can get back into the game today.
He's been absolutely huge. Both the point guards in this game, instrumental to their team's success, and both very modern point guards in Sim Jones and Christian Cook.
You want to have him late in this game. He's been a great playmaker.
Salatum, the flush.
Somehow, some way, the biggest man on the floor got lost.
The big dunks have been one-way traffic for the home team. 39 up in the final 6.
This is where you're going to see New Mexico State work this ball around, get a high pick and roll, and attack the matchup.
Straight away. Harris can't convert. Chamunga had a chance, and it will do the job. Managed to get the deflection. It remains with the Ags.
And thank goodness Solachum had the wherewithal to just bat that out of bounds. He was out of position here on the other end. Beautiful set right there, and that's a tremendous screen from Sim Jones. Solachum, easiest 2 points he'll have all season long.
Yeah, so he comes back from the potential injury scare and immediately makes an impact. That's been Sim Jones these last couple months. 3-ball, Cook. That's the rhythm. That's what it looks like, and it makes him lethal.
You knew it was only a matter of time, and you just hope and pray, if you're FIU, that isn't going to kickstart him. But that's sometimes all you need for a guy that scores 15 points per game.
He has the second best three-point percentage in all of Conference USA. He's one of 2 in that regard, so still shooting really efficiently. Hasn't gotten the volume. Jackson deflects. Out in front, it's Bostic. Bostic, amid 2 Panthers, will shoot twice. Zaddy Jackson leading the way. Bostic doing as well. Christian Cook, it is a completely different story from the last time these two teams met up. He had 5 3-pointers made against FIU, en route to 26 points, 1 off his career high. Put on a show in Las Cruces.
Yeah, he is just a marksman from beyond the arc. Different player this year, been able to work on his ability to get to the cup.
Yeah.
As Bostic misses the first free throw. But if you look at Cook from last season, he had 123 field goals made in 32 games. He's got 83 right now through 16. That tells you everything you need to know. Not just a three-point shooter, has really expanded his game as a pure scorer, a 3-level guy.
It's been the biggest difference. It's a stunning upset that you're the first one to use cook as a verb, cooking it up over me. I thought that'd be me, but you got me. Still time for one more Cook pun. Let's see what the 15-point per game guy has in store in the final 5. Salachum has one on this floor. It's enough for the ball fake. Abar running out of time. Created time and space.
Wow, slithers his way through a double team and steps through with that right hand. Almost looked like it could have been a walk in live time, but nonetheless, he'll take it. Panthers down 2.
Abar's coming off his first FIU double-double. Momentum carrying over late. The runner for Deontay Bostic.
Wow, what a tough move. He was able to shovel that over and push it in for 2.
Foul comes underneath. Salachum pleading his case. Call goes against him. Panthers have been extremely disciplined. That's just the 15th foul on FIU. On the other end of it, with 9 against NMSU, Salachum shoots 1 and 1 for the final time.
What a luxury it is to have a 6'11" big man be able to step up to the charity stripe and shoot 75%. I mean,
Yeah.
you would sign up for that in a heartbeat. He's got a really compact stroke.
Well, clean it up. Missed the one earlier, right there. Easy as it gets. And just like that, it's a double-double for Vianney Salachum. So Abar gets one last game, Vianney this game. His last full game went extremely well in that regard. Panther rebounding from the bigs, picking up in the most important part of the season. Filipovic, three ball. Right line, not enough gas. We go under 4. It won't quite be first to 50, but it's going to be close. New Mexico State has held pretty much this lead the entire time. First game back, brand new.
And now, and really, if you're the Panthers, you want to reward this crowd.
This is the most important run of play for FIU, 5 of 7 right here at the Ocean Bank Convocation Center. The Aggies, meanwhile, hoping to stay right in that first place spot. Salachum, right hand, the kind roll at home.
It was that spin that he put on that right-handed hook that allowed that soft touch to drop in for 2.
Cook, same spot, different result. FIU has a chance to take the lead for the first time since 2.5 minutes in.
And they're going to try to get a high pick and roll and let their guards create.
And that's exactly what happened. Asim Jones gets the Panthers in front.
He's been so good and calm in these situations. Uses that screen, hangs in the air, and hits with that right hand to give the Panthers a 2-point lead.
The answer stays from Deontay Bostic.
Ice in his veins, his 13th 3 of the season. Able to respond and give his team a 1-point lead.
The Northridge leader in threes last year gets one now, and he'll have a chance for 2 more from the free throw line. Deontay Bostic comes in the offseason. Coach Hooten says we want a proven scorer with a track record. Didn't have that last year. Do now. Deontay Bostic in clutch time for the Ags.
Yeah, back-to-back big possessions. Like you said, Corey, you're first on one end. You're going to get a Sim Jones who takes the high ball screen, hangs and hits with that right hand. I wouldn't even call it a layup. I'd probably call it a floater. And then the Aggies respond on the other, finding Bostic open for a triple from distance to give his team a 1-point lead.
Worth noting, he is 2 of 4 on the day. Now 2 of 5.
And I was going to mention that, Corey. That foul from Jaden Grant. Excellent hustle to force him make 2, because he was 2 for 4 going into that missed free throw. Now 2 for 5 on the night.
That's a few really good fouls in transition by FIU, one of which prevented a massive dunk all the way back in the first half. Bostic hits
clock. The longer they wait, the more desperate they become. But FIU has figured out a way to disrupt that rhythm that the Aggies have come in with, winning 6 in a row.
Off a season-defining win in the Battle of I-10. Can the Aggies beat the hangover on the road, or do the Panthers end the 2-game skid and continue to execute on their home floor? Runner, Asim Jones offline. Shot clock violation. And a big collision there between Jackson and Abar. Quick look around the benches. Haley Sutton has more.
Listening to Coach Ballard back in that timeout, he pulled Asim to the side and was sort of whispering the game plan to him. And then they kept saying over and over again, this is our time. He said, we have to execute and we have to score on that drive. So I'm sure he's pretty disappointed that they weren't able to get the bucket, but he kept emphasizing this is still a chance for FIU to come back and win this game. It is our time.
Underscoring that fact, the Panthers pressing hard, but as Sim Jones gets a little too close, commits the foul, and 1-and-1 time for NMSU with a lead.
Yeah, that was a veteran move from Jackson, who fell to Sim Jones being a tad aggressive and showed, I'm not just a basketball player. I could act a little bit.
Yeah. Jackson, the veteran. Began his career at Snead. Was originally going to go to Morehouse. The coach unfortunately passed away. His scholarship gets revoked, so he has to take the road less traveled. Goes to West Georgia, has one of the best years in the history of both his parents' alma mater, and now comes to New Mexico State. And right now, that's the guy who has a chance to make this a 2-score game.
Yeah, big freebie coming up here to make this a 2-possession game.
Does just that. Puts him into double figures. That's now 9 of 10. His reawakening has been a huge part of the best run of Aggie basketball in a while. Solachum, baseline jumper early in the shot clock, and Filipovic gets the big board.
Yeah, Solachum got a post-up opportunity. You could argue he was a little bit rushed there. Just too hard on the back end.
Chance for a haymaker now for the Aggies. Will it be Cook? He rises and hits! Quiet game, who cares? Chris Cook in the clutch. And the Panther, and let that tell you everything you need to know. The guy's 2 of 9, and he still hardly leaves the floor. He's that important to what this team does. And just like that, he will wind up in double figures regardless. An 11-0 run for the Aggies in the final 2 minutes. And Solachum will shoot twice to end it.
Well, this is going to be a tough one to swallow if you're FIU. As we take another look at some of New Mexico State's offense, this one just, you're desperate, you're pressing, Cook finds an opening. But if you're Coach Ballard and company, this is a tough pill to swallow.
The Ags did lead for the grand majority of this game. Panthers only on top for 3 minutes. NMSU there for half an hour. Despite that, and to your point, the Panthers had their chances. But Christian Cook, the silencer in the final stages, and Day-Day Gittins just has to foul.
And the Aggies will extend their win streak to 7.
Yeah.
They'll get their 11th win of the season. They'll move to 4-0 in conference play. And this was a guts game for Jason Hooten's squad, who on the road in another tough environment didn't play their best game, didn't play their most consistent game, didn't have their best player score 20, 25 points,
yep,
but figured out this was a character game. You learn a lot about your team in these types of games. And this tells you we don't need our best player to score 20 and win. We can have a collective effort. In fact, we don't have to have anyone over 14 points to win.
Right. And we were just talking earlier about the home court advantage in Conference USA. What makes this even more impressive for NMSU, 2 of their toughest road matchups in El Paso, a heated rivalry, and now here in Miami, 2,000 miles away. The Aggies will win them both.
Yeah, you know, as a championship team, and I know that New Mexico State is looking for just that, you've got to be able to play and win in different types of games. And we've seen the last couple for the Aggies, they've scored in the 80s, they've played high intense pace games where offense galore. This was not it. This was in the trenches, first to 60, and in our case 50 type of game where they were going to have to figure out different ways to get offense, and they did tonight, Corey. Give them credit. Late in this game, the execution was just at a higher level than FIU's.
Jones cleans up the triple free throw. Front end for both teams. New Mexico State will go to FIU's travel partner in Liberty. The top offense in the Flames battles the best team and opponent field goal percentage in the Aggies. So good old-fashioned style clash there. On the other end, FIU remains here and will battle New Mexico State's travel partner. That is UTEP. Jackson cleans it up. 12 points. Rosati Jackson, which makes it now 30 combined over the last couple. Locked in. Aggies made it happen late. And it's a yes chef three from Christian Cook that serves as the dagger. Brewer gets to shoot on the other end. Jeremy Ballard tells his team don't foul following these free throws. So this will be the final offensive action of the game. NMSU all of last year, 13 wins, 13 and 19. This is win number 11 for New Mexico State. And the second year under Jason Hooten is off to an unbelievable start in league play.
Yeah, they're a force, man. They play offense, they play defense. They've got a plethora of guys that can play. They're going to be a tough out.
And they will keep